Hello and welcome back to Math with Mrs. Becker. Today in Algebra 2, we are going to complete Chapter 6 by using finite differences to determine what degree a polynomial would have. So remember, when you're doing differences, what you're doing is looking at a table. Okay, just to kind of remind you what this looks like. The x values need to be evenly spaced, and the y values you subtract backwards, okay? Now, what you're looking for is when is the first time that the differences match. If they match right away, the first time, that would be a linear function. So if you plotted all those points and connected, you would get a line. If they match the second time, that means it has a degree of 2 because it matched the second time. That's where we get the 2 from. So that would be quadratic. If you plotted those points, you would end up with a parabola. If you subtract a third time, that would have a cubic, a degree of 3, so it's a cubic function. If you subtract 4 times before they match, then it's quartic. 5 times is quintic. Let's go ahead and do a few examples. Okay, so this is what you'll need to do. You'll need to show that the x values are evenly spaced because that's one of the key components. So to go from a 4 to a 6, you add 2. To go from a 6 to an 8, you would need to add 2 units. To go from an 8 to a 10, you add 2. To go from a 10 to a 12, you add 2. To go from a 12 to a 14, add 2. Now we subtract backwards. And I know this kind of sounds crazy, but sometimes it's going to be a lot easier just to go ahead and plug in your calculator. We end up with minusing negatives and some crazy things. So 11.5 minus 11.4, well, that's 0.1. Okay, so right away I can do these ones in my head, but have that calculator handy. 11.4 minus 10.5, 0.9. 10.5 minus 8.3, 2.2. 8.3 minus 4.3, 4. 4.3 minus a negative 2, 6.3. So these do not match. This is the first difference. So it's not linear. To see if it's quadratic, now we subtract backwards again. So 0.1 minus 0.9 is negative 0.8. 0.9 minus 2.2, negative 1.3. 2.2 minus 4, negative 1.8. 4 minus 6.3, negative 2.3. So here's our second difference. They do not match, so it's not quadratic. Subtract again. Negative 0.8 minus a negative 1.3, 0.5. Negative 1.3 minus a negative 1.8, 0.5. Negative 1.8 minus a negative 2.3, 0.5. So 1, 2, 3. The third time they do match. So this is a cubic polynomial function. And you guys, this is it for the day. This is the skill. It's kind of crazy. We had a crazy chapter with so many unique and difficult concepts. Then they end the chapter with, hey, subtract backwards till they match. Okay, well, let's do another one. You do have to show me that the x values are evenly spaced. So to get from a negative 6 to a negative 3, add 3. To get from negative 3 to 0, add 3. To get from 0 to 3, add 3. To get from 3 to 6, add 3. To get from 3 to 9, add 3. These are evenly spaced. That's why this method works. If these were not evenly spaced, you could not do this. Now we subtract backwards. 151 minus 78. This is 73. 78 minus 41. This is 37. 41 minus 26. This is 15. 26 minus 16. This is 10. 16 minus a negative 9, it's 25. So here's your first differences. They do not match, so it's not linear. Subtract again. 73 minus 37, this is 36. 37 minus 15, this is 22. 15 minus 10 is 5. 10 minus 25 is negative 15. These are second differences. They do not match, so this is not quadratic. Subtract again. 36 minus 22 is 14. 22 minus 5 is 17. 5 minus a negative 15 is 20. So 1, 2, 3, they don't match the third time, so it's not cubic. They don't match it. Got to keep going. 14 minus 17, negative 3. 17 minus 20, negative 3. They match. In order to get them to match, I had to subtract 1, 2, 3, 4 times. If you subtract 4 times and then they match, it's quartic. That is it for the day. I figured with these two examples, you are good to go. Your assignment is a worksheet. I hope you enjoyed learning how to use finite differences to figure out the degree of a polynomial function. Again, the table that's on the front side of the notes, that will help you figure out what to name it. So if it matches the first time, linear, matches the second time, quadratic, third time, cubic, fourth time, quartic, fifth time, quintic. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.